And today we're doing part 3 actually of what if Naruto was an Uchiha. So basically, without further ado, let's get right into this. What if Minato and Naruto walked out of the Namikaze compound and made their way towards the shop. Along the way, the father and son duo made ideal talks about what they will be doing tomorrow, and certain points about Naruto's start of training. It was mostly Naruto doing the talking and Minato listening to his 4-year-old boy talk. Naruto himself felt slightly excited at the prospect of becoming a shinobi. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he knew he could do it. He wanted to become powerful. He had heard stories of his grandfather's battle, powerless, and it captivated him to think someone so powerful could ever exist. It may be childish to think, but he did promise himself, I will become stronger than anyone this world has ever seen. Unconsciously, he gripped his father's hand tighter. Minato noticed his son's face. They were nearing the shop and saw how calm he took as a title head. How calm he looked at his title. Head grazed at the sky. I wish you were here to see him, Kushina, he thought. Both the father and son were brought out of their thoughts as they had reached the ramen shop. Hokage-sama, Naruto-kun, both Tuichi and Ayame, as they saw Minato and Naruto come inside the shop. The father and son took a seat as they greeted the two ramen store owners, Tuichi and Ayame. How many times have I told you not to call me for formalities, not to call me with formalities? You guys have known me for years, Minato said. It's only the right thing to do, Hokage-sama, said Tucci with a sly grin. Minato sighed, knowing it wouldn't do any good. Ayame looked at Naruto and asked, Naruto-kun, what would you have today? The same as always? Naruto nodded quickly as he started to get really hungry. Wait, I gotta do something. I'll have the same as Naruto, Ayame. I'll have the same as Naru, Ayame. So, make it 2 miso ramen, Minato added. The chefs went inside the kitchen and started making the food. After a few minutes, Ayame came with 2 steaming hot bowls of ramen and kept it in front of Minato and Naruto. Naruto inhaled the delicious aroma of the food and started gulping it down, and finished in a matter of a few seconds. Minato, who was watching him eat, sweat dropped at how quickly his son finished it. He definitely got his ramen addiction and table manners from Kushina, Minato thought. Minato too finished his bowl in the next few minutes, and the pair left the store back to their house after bidding the 2 chefs good night for the night. Good night for the night. Itachi Uchiha, a 9-year-old black-haired boy and the eldest son of the current Uchiha clan head, regarded as the genius of the Uchiha clan. He graduated from the Shinobi Academy of the village within a year, at top of his class. But one of the main things that made the boy so special was the fact that he had awakened the Sharingan at the mere age of 7. Many boys from the Uchiha clan, as well as the village, had great expectations from the boy. Even though Itachi was subjected to so much praise from everyone, he never let any of it get to his head. He was among very few humble shinobi within the clan. He was kind and gentle, something which which a small part of the Uchiha clan members disliked, but did not say anything, for he was the son of the clan head. He became a genin at the age of 7, and soon enough, the next year, he was promoted to the to chunin during the chunin exams held in Kumogakure no Sato. He was returning from his border patrol duty when he saw the Hokage and his son walking back towards their home. Seeing as he was going back home too, he decided to walk with them. He jumped down from the tree he was standing on and started to make his way towards them. When he saw Naruto stop suddenly, look at his direction, his eyes widened a bit. At that, at that, as Minato and Naruto were walking back home, Minato saw Naruto abruptly stop and look behind him. Minato, confused for a while, was about to speak when he felt the presence approaching them. Soon enough, he saw Itachi walking towards them in his shinobi gear. Minato looked at his son with surprising eyes. A sensor. His sensing ability has to be extremely great to sorry to extremely great to able to sense Itachi. What? Extremely great has to be extremely great to able. Yeah. Minato then looked at Itachi and said, "Itachi, coming back from the border patrol, I presume?" "Yes, Hokage-sama. Yes, Hokage-sama. I was relieved from my duty by Shisui," Itachi replied politely. He then looked at Naruto with his ever so calm and stoic face as he thought about the incident a few minutes ago. "This is my son, Naruto Uzumaki. I believe you have met him before." "Have you not?" Minato asked as he saw Itachi staring at Naruto. Itachi looked at Minato and nodded. "I have seen him a few times walking around the village by himself, but not that often. Although my mother did tell me a lot about Naruto-kun. Even though Itachi and Sasuke have both visited the Namikaze estate along with their parents on many occasions, Naruto often stayed inside his room reading books on various shinobi lands and the history of ninjutsu. So it was only Mikoto who went up to Naruto's room to have a talk with him, while Fugaku and his son sat down in the living room with Minato. "Hokage-sama, what's Naruto-kun's age?" Itachi asked. Minato raised an eyebrow upon hearing the question, but had a suspicion as to what it was about. He's 4 years and a month now." Naruto, who was standing beside his father, just kept quiet as all this time and stared at the boy, who walked talking to Taochan. He knew who Itachi was, as he had seen him at the house on many occasions, and has heard several shinobi talk about the Uchiha prodigy. Itachi's eyes again widened upon hearing that to have no such great sensing abilities at such a young age. "I know my chakra was kept suppressed," Minato saw. I know my chakra was kept suppressed." Minato saw Itachi shocked looked for a second and knew what he was thinking. He's quite special, Hokage-sama. It's already surprising to see a 4-year-old boy to have unlocked his chakra," Itachi said as he saw Naruto smile at his comment. Minato nodded as he glanced at his son from where he was standing. "How is little Sasuke doing, Itachi?" He's doing well, Hokage-sama. In fact, he'll be starting his ninja training soon. He took he looked at Naruto for a second and turned his gaze back to Minato and thought over the matter. Maybe I should bring Sasuke to meet with Naruto-kun over at your place someday later. Someday later, they could become good friends with each other and could possibly develop a friendly rivalry, Itachi said. Minato knew Naruto did not have many friends at his age. He would often take him to the park, but most he did was talk a few lines with other children. He asked him the reason on many occasions, but all he got for a reply was, I don't know, Tao-chan. They have they all just looked at me like I was different. It made him sad, knowing how is his how whoa, knowing how his son was what how his son yeah, I'm just gonna put in his how his son was treated in the village by the civilians and shinobis who lost their family on the night, but there were very little he could do to make an entire village get over the grief and loss they faced 4 years ago. Thus, this face formed a smile upon hearing the prospect of Naruto meeting someone his age and befriending him. Will he also look at me differently like the other people? It was Naruto who spoke. Both Itachi and Minato could note tiny glimpses of sadness in his voice. Surprisingly, Itachi bent down to Naruto's eye level and grasped his shoulders firmly with both his hands and said, No, Naruto-kun, Sasuke wouldn't look at you that way. Also, it shouldn't matter what others think of you. They don't know you personally, and you don't know them personally. You're special, Naruto-kun. You have a power within you, which others don't. People don't understand what they don't know and tend to fear it. So do not make that face. Naruto was a Naruto was a bit surprised on hearing that. At hearing that, he looked at his father and saw him smile. He turned to Itachi with a small grin and said, Thank you, Itachi-san. Itachi got up from his position and looked up at the sky to see the moon's position. It's getting quite late, Hokage-sama. I should probably leave now. Now. Apologizes to keep you occupied for so long, he said. It's no problem, Itachi. Tell Fugaku and Mikoto to come to our house sometime too. Minato said Naruto felt happy that he would get to meet Mikoto again. He remembered how the nice lady used to come and talk to him of the to come and talk to him. Many of the books which he has now were gifted to him by his auntie. Of course, Kage-sama. Itachi then looked at Naruto and said, It was good meeting you, Naruto-kun. I will come along with Sasuke sometime later to meet with you again. He bowed, and Minato bowed to Minato once and disappeared in a swirl of leaves to his home. Yay, I guess this is where it ends. That was such a cool technique, Tachan. Do you think you can teach me that? Naruto asked excitedly. Naruto smiled, seeing his son's reaction, and just settled for nodding. He took Naruto's hand in his own, and they walked back towards the Namikaze compound. So this is basically the stuff. You know what I mean? shout out to Kurama Kitsune 33. As this is where the story ends. Like, comment, subscribe, share to all your friends on your social media platforms, YouTube. We're out. Peace.